Entry and exit tones are off.
All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling insanely good this morning. My name's Haziq Ali, and all we're here to do is help you make more money with your business. I want everybody to kind of like be okay with that. I want everybody to be kind of like cool with the fact that like, look, I got a business, so there's no reason that I should ever have money problems. I mean, I know that's sort of a simple concept, but does that make sense to somebody out there? If you have a business, then there's no way you should still have money problems. Why do I say that? Because businesses exist to solve problems, and people have problems. There are infinite amounts of problems out there. That means there's infinite money. Does that make sense? There's not a single person you know that wouldn't trade $100 to solve $1,000 problem. There's not a single person you know that wouldn't trade $10 to solve $100 problem. There's not a single person you know that wouldn't trade $10,000 to solve $100,000 problem. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Value. Think value, not just cost, but value. You know, it's just saying everybody know, people know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. I'm asking you to look at your business and consider the value that's available to you, the value that's available to your community, the value that this business can provide for your family. That's what we're here to help you accentuate. I hope that feels good to you. Today, we're talking about 90-day cycles. Somebody check in, let them know where you calling in from. Let's get it. Let's go. Hold on just a second, y'all. Yeah, man. Check in time, rep your city. Let them know where you calling in from. Let them know where you streaming to us live from. What's up, Yuli? Good morning, good morning, good morning, Samaya. Yeah, good morning, Dorsey Lynn. Okay, Mr. Terry's in the house. Let's get it. Samaya, this whole time, I didn't know you was in Chi-Town. My man Maserati Spud is in the house. Let's get it. Let's get it. Chi-Town in here again, man. Chicago is a special place. Vanessa, what's up? What's up? Dr. Marilyn is in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Miss Mandy. Good morning, millionaires. So check it out. A lot of y'all have this. Some of you don't. This is our massive action planner, or some people call it the Millionaire Action Plan. You know, the 90-day map, right? MAP, Massive Action Planner. Because our whole vibe is helping you go further, faster, with less effort, right? So when you open up this bad boy, first you see our motto: either expand your mind to match your goals, or your goals will shrink to match your mind. You know what I'm saying to you, Miss Sherry? We got us some power involved in this thing. Pittsburgh in the house. Ashley checking in from Tulsa. Let's go. Let's go. So what we're saying right here is, you know, this is why most people trade in happy life for happy hour, you know, because they ain't expand their mind. When you open that bad boy, it starts asking you who you are. That ain't just so if you lose it, somebody can give it back to you. We also want you to define your definite mission. Like, what is your mission over these next 90 days? Everybody with me? Then we have you list the perfect characteristics of your customer, the attributes and characteristics of your perfect customer. Then we have you think about, hey, you know, what's some stuff you need to work on in your own personality? Because we know you don't get the customer you want, you get the customer that you are. This is why we tell people you can't be scared to support things that feed you, because if you are, that's the vibration you're putting out there. And guess what your customer is going to do? You're going to feed them and they're still not going to want to support you. You're going to love on them. You're going to give them everything you got. And because you're scared to support people that give you everything they got, you're scared to support the place where you get the word. You know, it's kind of like tithes and offerings or something. Every time you sow seed, you're scheduling a harvest. But the reason why you want to work on the stuff in your own personality is so you can begin to attract customers that have those attributes. That's a training for another day. After that, we give you the $400,000 secret. And I tell you this whole story about that, right? And, you know, it's real cool the way that system works. You get a time audit. This allows you to give yourself a P if it's a profitable activity, a L if it's a loss, a N if it's neutral or necessary. You guys know about these 90-day planners, right? But people are always asking me, why do you go in 90 days? You get to just fill in the month right there. You can put in all kinds of stuff about what your savings accomplishment was last month, what your savings goal is this month, right? Got the call schedule in there, stuff like that. But people are always like, Hazik, why 90 days? This is where you write in the 5 things you got to do every day, right? But people are always like, why 90 days? Why didn't you make it a year-long planner? Like, what is the significance of 90 days? Any of y'all ever thought that to yourself? Obviously, there are 4 90-day periods in a month. That's pretty cool. But here's the thing, millionaires. When you look at successful people and you observe their habits, because we know if we want the results of somebody, all we got to do is model the mentality, the character, and the habits of that person. Does that make sense? Can somebody type that in the comments for me and give me a share? Mentality, character, and habits equal results. If you model anybody's mentality, their character, and their habits, you'll get their same results. I don't care if you're talking about you want the results of that marriage. I don't care if you're talking about you want the results of that business. If you model the mentality, the character, and the habits of that person, you're going to get their results. And when you look at successful people, what you'll notice is they get a lot more done than other people can. I mean, we all breathe the same air. There's a popular thing that says everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. If you're millionaire minded and you really rock with us, you know I kind of take exception to that particular theory because of the fact that the wealthy delegate. The wealthy have assistants. The wealthy go on Fiverr and find people that allow them to buy back their time, right? So we don't all have the same 24 hours, but it looks like it. And when you're looking at the most successful people, you're like, how are they getting so much more done? Some people might call it luck. Some people might say they got special abilities that other people don't have. And some do have exceptional abilities, right? But for the rest, it's their approach. And what I've found through studying success, through studying some of my heroes, is that 90-day cycles can help you achieve way more than you could otherwise. Since we're now in this part of the month where it might be time for you to order your own 90-day planner so that it arrives by the beginning of next month, okay? I wanted to go over a little bit about why 90-day cycles are so important. Here are 5 reasons that 90-day cycles can help you realize your full potential. Here's the first one. Somebody give it to me in the comments. Somebody give it to me in the comments. That's exactly right, Vanessa. You definitely do things better in shorter spurts. We're going to get to that in a minute. Check it out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. That's exactly right, Samaya. So check it out. Somebody give it to me. Here's the first one. Focused action. Focused action. Somebody say focused action. Focused action. You know, I first learned about 90-day cycles in the world of network marketing. I was familiar with quarterly reviews, you know, from listening to my sister fret about hers or, you know, watching how my brother would handle his staff at Target. Most of you know I've never really had a job, but I knew about the idea of quarterly reviews. And now, of course, with my own employees, we do that a lot. But check it out. What network marketing made it clear for me was that people who set 90-day goals are the ones that win on a regular basis. They consistently win. What would have taken a year to achieve, they end up taking 90 days to achieve it. And the psychology behind it is that when you give yourself, and I think Vanessa just said this, a shorter period of time to execute, it forces you to focus. Somebody say shorter time periods force focus. Shorter time periods force focus. I know it's kind of like a tongue twister. Can somebody type that in the comments for me? Shorter time periods force focus. When you're clear about what it is you want to accomplish and you have the action plan to follow it, success just comes almost on autopilot. Now, of course, you still got to work your plan. People don't plan to fail. They fail to plan, right? They fail to execute their plan because the plan ain't going to work on its own. That's what it ain't going to do. I don't care how good a plan you got. But even as I continue to build content for my YouTube channel, I'm reminded that it's always consistent execution that brings success. Oh snap! Hold on just a second, y'all. I think I accidentally hung up on the live line, but it's consistent focused action
You have
that's always
something
going to bring the
special. You
results.
have
Hold on.
greatness in you. Hello, this is.
Please enter your. Thank you.
All right. All right. So yeah, give it to me. Shorter time forces focus. Shorter time periods force focus. Shorter time periods force focus. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Taisha. What's up? Good morning, Queen. So what we know is that results that you get after these shorter time periods are just going to fuel your desire to keep on going. This is a quote from Michael Jordan that I love. You may want to write this in your notes. Check it out, y'all. Work ethic eliminates fear. Work ethic eliminates fear. Work ethic eliminates fear. No, I appreciate that, Crystal. Somebody give it to me. Work ethic eliminates fear. That's a Michael Jordan quote. Work ethic eliminates fear. This is why I want you to sort of embrace this shorter time period, because it's going to force your focus and force a little bit more work ethic out of you. Here's the second one. Now you're using time efficiently. It's efficient use of time and resources. A 90-day period makes you use your time and your resources a lot more efficiently. When you've given yourself a shorter period to get something done, it leads to a lot more efficiency. Some of the best entrepreneurs today aren't those who started with everything they need. It's the ones that became more resourceful. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, y'all, but all creativity comes from restraints. Think about that. You may want to write that in the comments. You may want to write that in your notebook. All creativity comes from restraints. You don't get creative until you are boxed in. You're blocked in. You've got to do more with a smaller amount. That's when you get creative. Nobody gets creative when they've got everything available to them. You ever been in a restaurant and the menu is like, I got one for you, Cheesecake Factory. Y'all ever flip through the Cheesecake Factory menu? It's at least the size of this 90-day planner. You know what I'm saying? And because you've got everything available to you, you're not able to kind of think about what you want. That's kind of how life works. It's sort of counterintuitive, but I want you to understand all creativity comes from restraints. When you've given yourself a shorter time period, it leads to more efficiency. Some of the best entrepreneurs today are the ones that had to be creative in their use of time and resources to be able to get it done. This is pressure, y'all. This is the kind of pressure that brings out ideas that might not have been that obvious before that. On the other hand, when you don't feel that little bit of pressure, it starts to get easy to waste resources. Am I making sense to somebody out there? A lot of times, if you have an employee mindset, or you know, you're wondering like, what is employee mindset? The whole problem with an employee mindset is that you're living for security instead of opportunity. There's nothing that drives you for success internally. If you knew your life depended on you successfully executing certain tasks, you'd be way more careful with how you use your resources. So I say that to say, maybe take a little time to reflect on how you can make better use of some of the resources you have available to you. You'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish with the seemingly little that you have, right? The seemingly little that you have. I want to say that again, the seemingly little that you have, right? You'll be a lot more careful. You'll treat it a lot more precious when you're faithful with the little things. And also, it's those of us who are faithful with the little things that are given more. Why would God do it any differently than that? If you're faithful with what you have, it's guaranteed you're going to attract more resources. Everybody thinks that ideas bring money, and they do, you know. But also, y'all, or they think that money kind of gives you the ideas, and that's true on a certain level. But really, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Money follows ideas. It's not ideas that follow money. It's money follows ideas. If you're faithful with what you have, you're going to attract the resources to manifest it. Here's the third one, speaking of faith. It stretches your faith. It stretches your faith. A 90-day plan stretches your faith. Because what you're going to try and do is something where there's no way you could do it without God. Amazing things tend to happen the more outside your comfort zone you are, right? Getting out that comfort zone is what stretches your faith. And this is how the impossible becomes tangible. Sometimes, we could be guilty sometimes, speaking of myself, right? Sometimes we waiting on God to do things for us that he can only do through us. Sometimes people wait on God to do things for us that he can only do through us. Am I making sense to somebody? You always hear me say Peter walked on water too. Peter walked on water too. But the first thing that Peter had to do was step out on faith. You will experience the miracle you're waiting for when you step out, because God is already where you want to go. God is already where you want to go. And in some cases, this is going to require you to give up the little you have so you can get the best that you want. The fear of letting go is what keeps most people stuck. This is why most people fall short on their goals. It's the fear of letting go. But check it out. You ain't got time to be scared when you're working in a 90-day time period. There's a lot of pressure when you're executing a 90-day plan. There's going to be a lot of surprises. But a dog on the hunt don't notice no fleas. You get what I'm saying to you? And I'm not saying success is as easy as just going from point A to point B. We know that surprises are going to pop up. But when you encounter them on a 90-day run, you tend to not shrink forward. You're moving with faith because there's too many people that's looking at you run this 90-day play. Not only are you going to find out what you need, but in the process, you're going to discover you were never really lacking resources. What you were lacking was the pressure you needed to be resourceful. Here's the fourth one I got for you. A 90-day plan breeds new ideas. A 90-day plan breeds new ideas. Just like diamonds can't be extracted without a certain amount of pressure. Some things you just ain't gonna do. Millionaires, some things you only learn in a storm. I'm gonna be honest with you. Smooth seas ain't what makes great sailors. Smooth seas ain't what makes. Yeah, the boat will stay safe at the dock, but that's not why boats were created. You get what I'm saying to you? Smooth seas never make good sail. Some things you can only learn in a storm. So is it any wonder that some of the best businesses in the world, some of the most incredible entrepreneurs we've ever seen were born during challenging times? Isn't that interesting? That some of the most incredible businesses that have stood the test of time were born in times of recession or depression. Isn't that interesting? The pressure of achieving a goal in 90 days is what breeds the ideas that get the job done. That's one of the reasons why the successful embrace challenge. They know that adversity is a gift. Adversity is opportunity. And yeah, some people kind of like shrink back from challenges, but not the top achievers, not the 1%. They know that there are discoveries to be made. They know that there are things just outside the comfort. They know no growth happens in the comfort zone, right? And they know no comfort is in the growth zone. So what we're doing is getting comfortable being uncomfortable. This doesn't necessarily mean we love pressure, but we do understand that self-imposed pressure is what leads to breakthroughs. Now, sometimes that pressure is external. Sometimes that pressure is something that's been imposed upon us, but we still have to make the decision to embrace it. Yeah, some ideas are going to come when you're in a quiet and reflective mode, but other ideas are only going to come when you're under pressure. You're going to find out there's a difference in results between people without the same people that just moseying along during their 90 days and the results from people that put the pressure on themselves. You're going to find a huge difference in results. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, y'all? Am I making sense? Without a sense of urgency, every day is going to be the same for 90 days straight. Ain't going to be no growth. You know that and I know that. But the same exact tasks with a sense of urgency, all of a sudden, you're a superhuman. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, y'all? Eric Thomas says, all roads that lead to success got to pass through Hard Work Boulevard at some point. Any road that leads to success got to pass through Hard Work Boulevard at some point. Here's the fifth one I got for you. Y'all. Collapsed time frames. There's a principle, I think it's called Hawkins' principle, that says a task normally expands to fill the time that you set aside for it. A task normally expands to fill the time that you set aside for it. So what am I saying? I'm saying if you decide that it's going to take a year, it'll take a year. Anybody remember this from high school? Writing a paper or something, and you had the whole few months to do it, but you decide to do it in the last week, or you decide to do it in the last 3 or 4 days, or if you're like me, you decide to do it the night before. You know, that's when I first discovered no-dos. I was shaking. I took so many no-dos the night before. But something that was supposed to take the whole semester, I got it done the night before and got an incredible grade on it. My point to you is that collapsed time frames are magical. And if you focus your action for 90 days, it collapses the time frames. Now you achieve your goals, you acquire these new skills faster, way faster than you would have over a year. Imagine what you could achieve in a year by approaching each quarter with the same level of focus. I think you can see the possibilities if you approach your life's goals like that. Am I making sense, y'all? Millionaires. Let's say you're starting a new job and you were like, what can I do? Or you're looking for a new job. Imagine if you're just moseying along versus if you say to yourself, I'm about to dedicate this next 90 days. I'm about to apply this super high level of focus, right? Not sending applications out here and there without the necessary level of focus, but now you are all of a sudden, you're not just seeing this job, you're seeing other jobs that maybe you never even considered before because you've decided this has to happen. You hear me? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Luck is when preparation meets God's timing. And I just want you to think about some of the things that you want to achieve in your life. Are there goals that you put off indefinitely because you feel like they're impossible to achieve? Might be time to stop, think, breathe a little bit, and look for ways you can get it done. Identify what you can do with what it is you already have. What's the starting point? What do you need to execute on that you've been procrastinating about? I guarantee you start thinking about it in terms of these 90-day formats, you're going to start to see yourself a lot more focused. You're going to see yourself moving further, faster, with less effort. And you have become living proof that if you expand your mind to match your goals don't have to shrink to match your mind. I hope this was helpful, y'all. It's affirmation time. Let's get it. I'm super excited for this next 90-day cycle. If you need to order your planner, just go to millionaireminded.com. If you want to learn this stuff fast, we always say FAST, right? The F is for Facebook group. It's called Entrepreneurishment. The A is for accountability partner. Make sure you snatch one person up that you're going to hold, for instance, to this 90-day cycle. The S is subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click that bell or click those 3 dots right there. and one of them says, turn on your notifications, et cetera, so forth, or see it first, or add me to your favorites. And then the T is teach somebody something. Or leave your takeaway in the comments. What was the big thing that you got from this that you're now going to apply to your life? It's affirmation time, y'all. Let's get it. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful.